So I ran this Move trolling motor from Power Pole for 10 solid days, getting ready for a tournament and during a tournament. Let's talk a little bit about its durability. The first thing I want to talk about is the titanium shaft. Now I went with the 72-inch shaft because I've got a DP boat here, so I want that extra length. But one of the nice things about this titanium shaft is, first of all, it's very, very tough. In fact, it's got a lifetime guarantee on it that it's not going to break. But the other thing functionally that's really nice is that when you swing this down in the water and you start running hard with this trolling motor, a lot of trolling motors have flex in their shaft. So when you're really powered up and running hard, that trolling motor will actually flex ahead. Therefore, the head of the trolling motor, or the power down there, will actually be pointing up a little, and it's actually going to be lifting you up on waves and then not being quite as long. So that bend isn't good. With no bend in this titanium shaft, you get all of the power transferred from the lower unit straight ahead, pulling the boat straight ahead. So that titanium shaft is really, really important. Now the next thing I want to show you as far as durability is the actual steering engine on this Move trolling motor. This is your steering motor right down here. And I'm not an engineer, but what they call it is a planetary gear. And what that means is, instead of one little gear driving the steering on your trolling motor, there's actually 3 gears contacting to make sure that this trolling motor can move quickly, it can move quietly, and most importantly, if one of the gears would happen to have an issue, you still got 2 more. If 2 of them have an issue, you still got 1 more. So you got a backup there in case you would have any problem, which I doubt you would have. So that planetary gear system is a real integral part of the durability of this trolling motor. Now, the other thing that is really nice on this is the bracketing. Again, when you swing this down and you start running this side to side, you're going to find out that there's just no noise to it. You can't hardly hear it turn. You can't hardly hear it, moving or pulling. It doesn't creak at all. So it's really quiet. You add that with the quietness of this engine, which is super quiet, you've got a situation where you can be really stealthy sneaking up on fish. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the bracketing as far as when it's running. Now, when you stow this thing, it is basically locked in there, and it will not move if you're running down the lake. And you can be rattling her pretty hard and it's not going to jump out. If you would happen to not quite get your trolling motor in the bracket the right way, say when you put it down and you swung it up, you didn't quite pull it up enough. The nice thing is there's a secondary locking system in here so that trolling motor, even if it slides out of the bracketing, won't fall into the water. So durability, super important for trolling motors. One of the biggest issues we've had with trolling motors in the past, but now with this Power Pole Move, you've got a system that's always going to work for you out on the water.